We are just a couple miles east of the LAX airport, just off the 405 and the 105 at the beautiful SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. First carry now for Justice Hill. Oh, good footwork on the spin. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Herbert to throw right away. And that'll be incomplete.
Man coverage to start the game, and I expect we'll see a good amount of that. They trust their secondary to hold down the fort and let their pass rushers get home. And that's a good job right on play one.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. A shotgun snap for Herbert. That's complete. It's Ladd McConkey. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That one good for 26 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
They run for the first time with Justice Hill. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Going again on the ground here with Hill. And they string that play out nicely. He stopped before he can turn upfield. No gain, second down. The Chargers had 3 and 9 now on the year, and they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the first and goal. Well, they've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because
Hill's hit, and he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it.
Looking right side, and it's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, it's only the first quarter, but that's a quick shift of momentum right there because they were driving the football before that interception. And then not only, Charles, do they throw the pick, but it gets returned all the other way for the score.
I think the important thing here was it backed up in their own territory. This defense didn't blink. They hung in there, waited for the offense to make a mistake, and as soon as they did, they capitalized in the biggest way possible.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And they were winners the last time they took the field, which was 2 weeks ago. They had the open week last week, so this is a squad that should be really refreshed and ready to roll.
I would agree, because when you get that open week after a victory, it does wonders.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 39 yards there, a big one.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? Guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Now a first carry for the former Tar Heel, Javonte Williams. And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one. Well, partner, this offense 12-0 now on the year following their latest victory. And during the week, a lot of folks making comparisons between this squad and the 1985 Bears. You know, they too were 12-0 at this juncture of the season before losing on a Monday night 38-24 to the Dolphins at the Orange Bowl way back on December 2nd of 85. But then they'd never lose again en route to winning Super Bowl 20.
And when you look back on it, partner, didn't it almost feel like a setup game? Because they were playing the Dolphins, and the Dolphins were protecting their franchise's undefeated season of 1972, that team. And you know what that team does. They love to celebrate the fact that they still are the only one to get through an entire NFL season that way. That was Dan Marino's 3rd year playing under the great Don Shula, and they were motivated to keep that franchise's record intact.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash too.
When you talk about the defense for these Chargers, they've been dreadful against the run. No getting around at number 32, dead last in the NFL.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
They juked him. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets through, he's shredding them.
Throwing Nix. Escaping the pressure right. And it's going to be a nice pickup, but he also takes a pretty good lick at the end of that one.
It is certainly becoming rarer by the year to see the franchise guy take a hit like that. The defender couldn't believe he had a shot to light him up. So when you take off and run, you have to make sure you can slide, get out of bounds, anything. Just don't leave yourself open to hits like that.
2nd and goal from the 1. And Shaheed going to go in motion. Working out of the gun is Nix. That'll be caught right side. Chenault with it. Touchdown, Broncos. Laviska Chenault hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0.
Broncos 14, Chargers nothing. Will Lutz to kick off for the Broncos.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The Charger drive about to get going. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now it's Herbert. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Brandon Jones got in there, knocked that away. But you look at this Bronco defense, and they played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hekker to punt it away. This is taken at the 18. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. To throw is Nix. That'll be taken in by Shaheed. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And they'll run on 1st down with Hubbard. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, this defense for the Chargers very strong in that victory a week ago.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
2nd down, another chance for Hubbard. And he'll be close to a 1st down at the Chargers 39.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On play action, here's Nix. They'll roll him out right. A short one to the tight end, Troutman. And he will have the Broncos 1st down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Nix. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Like it's been this negatively as he just got back to the line of scrimmage. But when you really analyze it, he took away a big play for the defense, made it an uneventful run because he avoided a sack and didn't lose yardage.
Here's Nix. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Franklin. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. To throw, here's Nix. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown from 19 yards away. And the Broncos have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. And he continues to be a focal point of this offense. That's now 10 touchdown catches for him on the year. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0.
Next to score, Broncos 21, Chargers 0. Will Lutz to kick off for the Broncos.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And he'll be brought down here at the 28. A pickup of 7 there, but they'll still have 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. And the Broncos are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Straight ahead with Hubbard. And he'll be close to a 1st down at the Chargers' 29. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage. And that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there. 29 yards. And the Broncos are able to add on to their first half lead. Lutz to try to add the PAT. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
Now that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They stick on the ground on first down with Hill. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
They run it again with Hill. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Herbert. Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 52 yards rushing for him now to this point. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Nix to the air. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Back deep for L.A. is Darius Davis. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PA.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, that is interception number 4 for him, Charles. 4 here in the first half alone, and they're already trailing by 4 possessions.
Makes me wonder, partner, do they just not have any confidence at all in the backup, or do they just have that much confidence in him? Able to throw 4 picks already, they're certainly hoping that he can turn things around and quickly.
And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. 2nd and 9 from the 44. Nix from the shotgun. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And how about the quick feet there as he made a man miss on his way to a solid gain of 7.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Operating from the gun, Nix. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Tuipulotu got in and dropped him. I think a lot of time when we see a sack, you say, well, you blame it on the offensive line, the quarterback, but here, maybe you just tip your hat to the defender. What a play.
Yeah, and I think sometimes they just get a sense of the play before the ball's even snapped. Kind of like a sprinter anticipating the gun in a race. They're off, and guess what? The quarterback's down.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Charger drive about to get going. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to go up top again. Here's a diving catch right side. A big play there just before halftime. 44 yards. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okwuegbunam. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Another big play as they get 28 out of that one.
They're just going to run a drive route here with their tight end. Let him get upfield about 10 yards and then move toward the middle of the field. This ball's right on target, and it results in a first down.
A give to Williams, running right. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. Able to slither by, and he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 72 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Looking to throw. Nix. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Laviska Shenault, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Broncos take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Chargers 3. Will Lutz to kick off for the Broncos.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. Justin Herbert looking to pass. He's got the hook up downfield to McConkey. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
And between the last 2 plays, they moved it over half the length of the football field. Sure didn't take this offense long to get within striking distance of the end zone. 2 plays.
Feel the energy? You can just feel it, can't you? Because they are creating it on offense. The way they're running the football. Now they've swept into the red zone. Momentum all on their side.
First down, and it's Hill again. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
He drops this one off underneath here for Hill. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Back to throw here, Herbert. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Justice Hill from 6 yards away. And the Chargers are able to at least get 1 score back. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
At their own 20-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Still comfortably on top, third quarter as they start things here with a 1st and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Franklin. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45. 81 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner, and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he's going to have the Broncos 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
So right now what I'm seeing an offense is just firing off the ball a lot quicker than they can react. And not only that, they're sustaining the blocks too. I'm seeing guys get 6-7 yards downfield before there's even a hint of contact.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Throw left side complete. That's Franklin. Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Running right, here's Estime. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. First carry now for the LSU alum, Ty Davis-Price. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, he's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
First down, and they go right back to Davis-Price. And he is going to lose yardage here. Calling a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Another touch for Davis-Price. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Going for it, here's Davis-Price. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th. They'll run with Davis Price. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. A give left side for Davis Price. And he gets it a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll try and throw. Here's Nix. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. And that sack brings up 4th and goal, a loss of 7. Big play. The kick by Lutz is good. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Down the numbers. There he goes. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Chargers. Dicker now to tack on the extra point. And the lead is down to 24. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. And he's going to have a Broncos 1st down as he'll take this up to the 38-yard line.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. Nix. And it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Henry. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Oh, boy, kind of hold your breath here because Justin Herbert, he appears to be in some discomfort after that last play. More from L.A. in a moment. 2nd and goal from the 1. Hill. Looking for a signal, but none forthcoming. They stopped him shy of the goal line. He tried to break that plane, but couldn't get there, and that's going to leave him now at 3rd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
Flush to his right. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Deebo Samuel, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Chargers take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. Sheds off the tackle. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think that you might not be dialing that up again.
Yeah, probably not. They're still in fantastic shape, though, so I would imagine before he trotted out here for this series, head coach probably just leaned over to him and was like, listen, we're wearing these color shirts. Throw it to those guys, not the others. Try to make a joke out of it and just let him go out there with a little bit more confidence.
2nd and 5. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Franklin. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And picked up by the Chargers. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. A lot of talk. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. On the counter, here's Williams. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he gets it down to the 32. 125 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out. We've got him now.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. The kick by Lutz is good. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Will Lutz to kick off for the Broncos.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, their defense has really struggled. Well, we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
The Charge has first down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Again, Herbert. A dump off now to Hill. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws. Well, these guys are not going to go out with their tails between their legs. They're going to keep taking their shots until the clock's at 000. But that one, like a lot of others, winds up incomplete.
And now here is another interception. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. And the Chargers will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
Oh, nice move at midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That good for 19 and a first down. Probably wishing that they could have had a few runs like that earlier in the game, now facing this deficit in the fourth.
Hard to criticize a run of that magnitude, but they really need those types of runs to go the distance and need bigger plays to try and get back into this one.
And boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Denver, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com.